Malaysia Green Building Council, also known as Malaysia GBC, is an organization that promotes green building programs, technologies, and design practices, aims to make Malaysia an eco-friendly and sustainability place on Earth. Malaysia GBC was founded in May 2009 by a group of passionate building consultants, academia, and representatives. Even since Malaysia's building has increased, the efficiency of resources used in each building was built with green in mind. Malaysia GBC is also supported and associated with most of the top industry institutions. In the year 2015, Malaysia GBC became an established member of the World Green Building Council and known to be the only organization in Malaysia to be supported by the World GBC. Malaysia GBC continues to be the platform that networks, promotes, educates, and most importantly, develops the sustainable, built into the land of Malaysia. With much more passionate industry professionals, we can make Malaysia a greener and better place on Earth.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to our webinar on climate change and business responsibility. Climate change is something which is touching everybody around the world. We now, if all the countries who have attended the Paris Accords, 190 plus nations, and are reporting with regards to climate change and the SDGs under the UNFCCC, and all of us are so much concerned about climate change due to the fact that a slight change in temperature would be catastrophic to the ecosystem and the economies of the world. And today we have the topic of climate change and business responsibility. And with us we have Sarah Aida Muhammad Aidil from IGEA. She is the product specialist. She joined IGEA since 2019 as a specifier architect consultant, SAC. She will be providing technical support for the architect, developer, and the main con. She graduated from the University Malaysia Pahang, UMP, in civil engineering. Sarah Aida has been in construction industry for more than 3 years. She started with construction of the infrastructure and moved forward with the island man-made hotel and resort construction at Maldives. And perhaps she'll tell us more about that. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker, Sarah.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So moving forward to straight away to the topic today. Let me share my screen first. So today is the good topic that we're gonna start our day today with, which is the climate change and business responsibility. So my name is Sarah Aida Muhammad Aidil. You can just call me Sarah. I'm a specifier architect consultant, or also known as a product specialist for IGEA Berhad. So moving forward to our topic. So climate change. So what is the climate change? Climate change is a broad range of global phenomena created predominantly by burning fossil fuel, which add heat trapping gases to the Earth's atmosphere. So this atmosphere include the increased temperature trend described by global warming, but also encompass change such as sea level rise. So for example, ice mass loss in Greenland, Antarctica, the Arctic, and mountain glacier worldwide, and also the shift in flower and plant blooming, and also the extreme weather event. So referring to the graph here, show that the history of the atmospheric carbon dioxide in the years before the present days. So you can see the line of the graph is slightly nice and steady. So we also can call as stagnant. So but after a years you can see the line is really fluctuate, increase dramatically, which this one is the when the industrial revolution happened in 1950. So it doesn't show any stop or any sign of stopping or increasing decreasing. So this what going to be happen if, let's say, climate change really happen. So why and when the climate change happened? So study from scientists in 1824 shown that the air rich in carbon dioxide retain more heat, leading to increase in air temperature. So a large quantity of carbon are released into the atmosphere. So because of the industrial activity that burn coal, the air will be charged with CO2 and more heat will be retained. So after a years, after like more than 120 years, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, was created in 1988 with the purpose of studying the evolutions of the phenomenon of climate change and its consequences. So, referring to the diagram on your right side, so the diagram is shown the atmosphere with lower carbon dioxide level and also the atmosphere with the higher carbon dioxide level. So you can see the yellow line is the sunlight. So whenever the sun produces the sunlight, sunlight will penetrate to our Earth surface. Then also we reflect back to the atmosphere, the heat. But if let's say the with the lower carbon dioxide level, so the some heat escape is higher compared to the higher CO2 level, which less heat escape. So the heat was trapped in the atmosphere together with the CO2. So this phenomena happen, it will lead to our Earth getting warmer and warmer, hotter and hotter. So, why and when climate change happen is on the 1800. So according to the UN on 2020, now we are currently 1 degree hotter than other normal temperature. So it will have no issue even we are 1.5 degree hotter uh, on 2100. And also it doesn't have any problem if let's say on 2100 we are 2 degree hotter than now. But the thing is we are starting to facing and catching the pace which we are towards 0.5 degree hotter in just 10 years. So can you see the problem in by 2030 that we already towards 1.5 degree hotter in just 10 years when it's supposed to be happen for another 100 years. The pace is catching. We don't even achieve half 50 years to achieve 0.5 degree hotter. So can you imagine what will happen later? Even we already get a taste. But who are started this? So who is the causes the climate change? It is Earth, human activities, humans economies, and also industry. So contribution to a lot of the environment CO2 emissions from burning fossil fuel, air pollutions, sound pollutions. So we don't even know what's going to be happen if this keep repeating and what are the consequences for the climate change if happen. So we already taste it. So the heat increase not only can be felt by humans or see from the glacier ice melting, it also have a potential affect the planet entire ecosystem. So this is what you can see. The global ice melting have changed their origin form. So you can see from their beautiful white and become doesn't have any white anymore. So we don't want to be this happen if climate change become more extreme. So another than ice melting glacier, so the consequences of climate change also will lead to the extreme weather event or more regular and their patterns are changing, which they are more intensive, aggressive, and with more energy. So this means more storm flood or natural disaster will take place over the years. So you already know this one because according to the UN officer, between 1980 to 1990, there were 3656 climate-related events happen and post 6681 between 2000 until 2020. So you can see the double of event happen is already double. So for example, we can say typhoon in Philippines in 2020, volcanic eruptions in Philippines 2020, earthquake in Turkey 2020, flash flood in Indonesia also 2021. And you know that the Australian bushfire in 2020. So recently, Malaysia are hit by the heavy flood in Kedah. So you can see their pattern are changing. So last time, if once heavy flood will hit or happens on October onwards, but there's no more. On a middle of years already, we taste it everything. So what happened at the same time, the regulating capacity of ocean is also being affected by an increase in temperature. If let's say global temperature is increased dramatically, ocean level will not only increase, they will also be facing the ecosystem challenges of the ocean acidification and ocean deoxygenation. So have you ever wondered what impact the climate change to the business? So if let's say the global warming keep happening, which Earth become hotter and hotter, employer will easily get sick. So the immune system start to decrease, and employer will start to attack by the, for example, heat stroke or other illness. So these also will, of course, they will take a sick leave, which that will lead to the ineffective the productivity of the company. Then, and of course, if let's say the productivity are decreased, it will also worst case scenario, there is no more income towards your company. So we don't want to be happen like everyone facing or impact this climate change. So other than these consequences, we also, for example, so if your employee feel hot, so it will lead to you to need to build in the eco conditional for more than it needed to give your employee a warm and comfortable zone of office. Then it will, but however, if let's say you are installing all and much more air conditioning, it will affect to your electricity bills. So And of course, you need to pay more for the electricity bills to sustain your productivity and sustain your employee to comfort in the office environment. So what will happen? How we gonna stop these things? How we want to the climate change to not really impact to our businesses? So this is how you can fight the climate change. By first thing first is reducing the greenhouse gases, GHG emissions. So we need to embrace the renewable energy that are naturally replenished on a human's time scale, such as sunlight, wind, rain, tidal wave, and geothermal heat, and avoid creating energy by the burning of fossil fuel. So, according to the UN Sustainable Development Goal, you can also claim as UN SDG 13 climate action and also UN SDG 7 affordable and clean energy. So what is the renewable energy? Clean energy. It is the solar PV panel system. So this is the unlimited source of energy that you can have because we are always have sunlight in our earth. So solar panel produce the electricity by transforming the continuous flow of energy from the sun to the electricity. So there's no harmful emissions are released into the air when electricity is produced by solar panel. So if let's say we are using the traditional method for generate the electricity which burning fossil fuel, burning coal, so it will release the emissions of the CO2. So we want to avoid that. So we are going to use the renewable energy and clean energy, which solar PV panel system. So how does solar work as a PV panel system? So PV, what is the PV? PV is the photovoltaic. So PV cell in a solar panel turn into sunlight into the direct circuit electricity, which we call it as DC. So the DC electricity will be either stored in a battery storage system, if let's say available, or flow to the inverter for the DC electricity to be converted into the alternate current. So alternating current, we call it as AC. So AC electricity. Once this purpose been taking place, the solar energy is used either within the building compound or feed back to the grid, depending on the RE policy or scheme that the system owner is undertaking. So what's more, in Aja, we are very competent industry player. We want to be the game changer in the industry. So we already installed the solar PV system throughout our 10 plant across the Peninsula Malaysia, installed with combined of 3.3 megawatt peak solar PV system. So this is according to MIDA or SEDA, is by installing the 3.3 megawatt peak solar PV system, avoiding 2,000 tons of CO2 carbon dioxide emissions per year. So this is equivalent to the 800,000 trees safely grown for 10 years to absorb such carbon dioxide amount. So you can see, if let's say we install the solar PV system, it's not only that we generate the electricity by solar PV system, it also help us to increase the seed in a year for 800,000 for 10 years. So you can see the huge difference or huge help to sustain our climate change not to be extreme or aggressive anymore. So other than the solar PV system, what else that we can do? So businesses also can fight climate change by creating a worldwide culture of sustainable development where the energy is used wisely and efficiently, where a circular economy is a strong bet as well as durable and eco-friendly product. So what is the eco-friendly product? So we want to know more about eco-friendly product. So according to UN SDG Sustainable Development Goal, you also can achieve the UN SDG 13, which climate action also. And the new thing that you see today is UN SDG industry, innovative and infrastructure. So what is the eco-friendly product? You can also use polyurethane roofing, which polyurethane roofing I will always calling as a sandwich panel roofing. So each panel comprises a core of thermal insulating material skin on both sides with sheet metal. So the material mainly vary in the insulating performance, sound insulating performance. So if let's say we install this one, what are the regulations, what are the rules or the initiative that government taken today? So the Green Technology Master Plan Malaysia 2017 to 2013 already stated that passive design are more really needed in our industry today because these initiatives are contributing to the near zero energy building target and also standardizations of the green rating tools. So this is the MS Malaysian Standard 2680 for residential and also Malaysian Standard 1525 for industrial and commercial. So this not only the Malaysian standard and also according to UBBL, Universal Building Bylaw, already stated that which and how much the R value required for the roofing in the building to not really penetrate the sunlight into the building. So same goes to the Green Building Index rating system, already emphasize on the energy efficiency, which improve energy consumption by optimization the building orientation, minimizing the solar heat gain through the building envelope, harvesting the natural lighting, adopting the best practice in the building service, including use of renewable energy and ensuring the proper testing, consumptions, and also regular maintenance. So that's what the Malaysian initiative. So come forward to the state that I live today, which Negeri Selangor. So in Warta Kerajaan Negeri Selangor already stated that here, you can see in the red line, the roof for all building, residential or non-residential, should not have the thermal transmitted U value greater than 0.4 for the lightweight roofing and 0.6 for the heavyweight roof. So unless provided for the other shading or cooling. So what is the passive design strategy? So we have a lot of passive design strategy. So today I would like to emphasize on the insulate, which thermal insulations. So this is the key parameter of the thermal insulation, which first is you need to find the insulating is with the low thermal conductivity K value is lower. So you can see in the table of thermal conductivity is the polyurethane foam is the lowest. and the higher thermal resistance, which is R value. So you can see in the table also the higher thermal resistance R value is polyurethane foam. So same like usual, you need to calculate the low thermal transmittance U value with 1 over R. So you can see you can have the higher the R value is lower the U value. So next, what are more important is if let's say we don't want to put the solar panel solar PV system, or we don't want to use the PU form roofing, you also can use the energy efficiency safety glass, which if let's say you are right now are currently using a single pan, you can also contribute or spend more on the double or triple pan to increase the insulating. So with using this kind of low emissivency glass for reducing the solar heat gain towards your building. So you can see if let's say you are using the normal glass, you can have higher sunlight penetrate into your building, so you won't be felt cold. So if let's say you are using the energy efficiency glazing, so it will also cool it and cooler, and even though you are under hot sun. So third, that like I mentioned before, is the passive building design for glare and heat control. So you need to create or design the building that really not into direct sun. So what have Aja done before? So Aja Safety Glass have the world-class standard safety glass project completed by Aja Safety Glass, which is KKR2 Towel KL. So this is the Malaysian first platinum certificate higher rise office building under Green Building Index. And also it reduces solar heat gain by employing the triple pan insulated the low emissions CVT glazing. So other than KKR2 tower, we also already built the Energy Commission's diamond building. So like the passive building design, the glare and heat control, this is the Malaysian first platinum winner under the Green Building Index. So the glare and heat control using energy efficiency glass facade. So as summary, I already cover up what is the climate change, what going to be happen if climate change are extremely and aggressive. We do not fight that. So how, and I also already covered all the consequences and how to fight the climate change. So first, I recap back. You need to fight climate change by embrace the renewable energy of the energy, clean energy, which solar PV system. And also, you can also use the low emittance glass into on your building. And you also can use the PU foam roofing because PU foam roofing is really give you contributions to the U value according to UBBL also, and also according to the MS standard from Malaysia. So I already conclude everything, Prof. So pass to you back.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for your sharing and your presentation. I think it's a good good overview of what this climate change is all about and how we can overcome climate change. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some questions that have appeared here. I will just go through some of them. Oh. Okay. Okay. I will display one of these questions. Let's see if it works. Hold on. Yeah. So one of the questions here says that is PU CFC free?
Yes, PU is definitely CFC free because we are using the liquid that CFC free from our supplier. So it won't harmful because like everyone mentioning if let's say like PU harmful to them or to health. So it won't be. It doesn't have any safety or health issue if let's say you are using the PU from roofing.
Right. So another question here is that can PU be used for residential or is it just only factory?
So actually, because of PU, the PU roofing, I call it as sandwich panel. So it's easier to install everywhere. It doesn't matter to be residential, industry, commercial. Even you have that longer span, also it doesn't have any problem. So as long as you have like a suitable design of roofing, so it will give you the benefit of the PU also. Because PU is like other insulations, but it saves your cost and also the construction time because you need to install it only for one time only, rather than you need to install multiple time for multiple layer of the roofing system. Yeah.
Right. The next question is, how much energy can be harnessed from photovoltaic panels?
Oh, that one. So actually, the energy that can be harvested in the this one voltaic panel is depending on the how much that you want the PV panel to be harvest the energy. So this one is you need to do the calculations for the together with solar expert, because Aja also have like solar expert which plus energy. So this will also can contribute you the harvest how much the energy can harvest lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're looking also at the efficiency of the panel, the size of the panel, the size of the roof, what type of solar panels as well. And I think those experts would advise further on that. Right, Sarah?
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is what shading coefficient SC of 0.5 better than 0.9? If so, what is the cost difference in percentage?
Sorry?
Will shading coefficient SC of 0.5 be better than 0.9? If so, what is the cost difference in terms of percentage?
So it's still depending on the calculation also. So I cannot advise you further on this one because all the required, the cost difference, everything is depending on how much that you want that one.
I think this is talking about the DBI or MS1525 calculation on shading coefficients. Quite technical, our questions are coming in. Yeah. I'll just display the next question. Is it coming up? Is PU roofing similar to radiant barrier?
Radiant barrier. Radiant barrier is more to the foil, right? So PU is more to the insulate the thermal performance and also the sound performance. So we can say yes and we can say no for the radiant barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think they are talking about the radiant barrier, the foil sheet. Perhaps there has been a lot of debate on this, where radiant barrier does provide air gap insulation or not. I think there was a study done by GBI with SERI UKM. I think that one can provide more answers lah. This is quite a technical bit of question here. Other than that, I can't display this one, but it says here, what does acidification and deoxygenating mean?
Okay, so ocean acidification is the ongoing decrease in the pH value in the Earth ocean. So it's caused by the uptake of the carbon dioxide also from the atmosphere. So the main cause of the ocean acidification is burning fossil fuel. So that's why, because ocean acidification is one of the several effects of the climate change on ocean. So seawater level is basically, the pH level is of more than 7, and ocean, if let's say ocean acidification happen, so involve the shift toward pH natural condition. So that's I mentioned before, because we don't want to this ocean acidification to be happen, because it will lead to or potential to harm all the flora and fauna in the ocean. So if let's say that happens, so we don't have any food and don't have any like fish to eat, so everything will be affected to Earth, towards Earth, not even ocean only. Yeah.
This is another question. How business can play their part in climate change?
So businesses can fight or can play the part in the climate change by build your building or house using the or put it the solar PV system to enhance more on the renewable energy. So other than renewable of solar PV system, you also can use, like I mentioned, is PU roofing system. So PU roofing system also contribute you to the lower U value. So you cannot, or I will say you will less feel hot. So the sun will penetrate into your building, not really as much as you are using the normal roofing sheets. And other than that, you also can use like, right now is trend, right, Prof? You are using all like building or houses with all like full glasses. So you can choose to use the low emittance glazing glass. So it will contribute you to the lower of the solar penetrate into your building also.
Right. I think in addition to all the strategies that you have mentioned, in terms of companies, you can also make sure that your processes and corporate governance are in line with international sustainability standards, such as carbon reporting, or you have a carbon inventory, and make sure that all your supply chain is equally sustainable. I think those are fairly equal important corporate things to do if you're running a company. This is a more specific question. Why in slide number 3 there are 2 types of temperature increase? Could you further explain?
Slide number 3.
Yes.
Hold on, I check my slide first.
This is coming from a lecturer from Uni KL.
Slide number 3 is when the climate change happened, right? So the graph from the range of years that I mentioned before. So like this one. So according to the UN, so we are going towards on 1.5 or 2 degree, it doesn't matter that right now, right now we are 1 degree hotter than previous years. So towards 100 year, UN said that we are okay, even we are hotter than 1.5 degree. So even though we are going to achieve in 2100 with 2 degree, it doesn't have any problem. But the things is happen is the pace. Pace is catching because it's supposed to be happen is one like another 100, but it only happened for 10 years, which in 2003 we already going towards 0.5 hotter, which the temperature going to be 1.5 hotter than before. So we don't want like it's supposed to be happen is 100, but we only happen in 10 years because all the humans activity, industry activity that contributing to the carbon dioxide emissions. So that the 2 degree or 2 numbers of degree that I mentioned lah.
Yeah, I think to put it simply, what Sarah mentioned is that in 2100 AD, if we look at natural temperature increase, maybe it would be about 1.5 degrees. But currently, we have already achieved 1.5 degrees in a matter of a very short time due to the rapid industrialization that we are going through. And I think that is the basis of why everybody is so panicking, because at the end of the day, if all these international bodies such as the UN are looking at just maintaining our temperature increase to pre-industrial to controllable levels. And I think that is the basis for our Kyoto protocols and all those international conventions on climate change to control the temperature. Yeah. Okay, onward to the next question. Can you suggest the best product for roof insulation?
The best product for roof insulations. So I will say PU roofing system, a PU insulation product, because like I already go through my slide, because PU are contributing to the low K value and also the higher R value. So if let's say you want to calculate the U value, you can get the lower U value also. The thermal transmits through your roof to your building. So other than that, if let's say you are using others insulation, you need to compress in the middle or in the where the purling happen, because you need to screw it the insulation. So but however, if let's say you are using the PU roofing system, it more to you give you the uniform and steady insulating performance, because you don't have to clip or you don't have to like compress in the particular part that you need to compress. So it will give you the steady U value. So you doesn't have like in the purling have different U value. At the middle is the different U value. So we want to have like uniform. So that's my suggestion lah.
And also you can vary the thickness, right, to increase the U value.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Next question. Who can I contact if I want to know more about solar panels?
So you can contact to Aja. We can lead you to our partnership together plus Solar Energy. You can have a contact. Can I just call it the contact? Is it the contact name of? You can call 0351210011. Or you can email to us inquiry@agia.com. So you will state there that you want to know more about solar panel. So we will give you or lead you to the solar partnership.
Okay. Next question. How could building materials contribute in reducing the effect of climate change? How could building materials contribute in reducing the effect of climate change?
So like I mentioned before, so if let's say the building material, you're referring to the solar. So solar will reducing.
I think this guy is asking about all building materials.
Okay, so let me explain first. So if let's say for solar, so solar will generate electricity without burning the fossil fuel. So because right now traditional method that build our current building receive the electricity energy is by burning the fossil fuel. So if let's say we are avoid or omit the traditional method on and install the solar, so solar will generate by sunlight the electricity. And other than that, if let's say we are using the pure roofing system, so it will contribute you to the less use of electricity bills, such as aircon or fan, because you can have like cooler or cooling in your building. And also the glass emittance glazing. So glass building material will also contribute you to the penetrate or avoid the penetrate of the sunlight into your building. So this really not really like how you can this is not really like big impact if we don't use it. If let's say we are using it, we can see the big impact on the climate change happen also. So we want to avoid the climate change. Perhaps you can stop using the traditional method, and you can change towards the fight together on the climate change.
Right. In addition to that, I think what Sarah has mentioned is what we call in the industry as operational energy or operational carbon that is produced by the building, and which accounts for like 70 to 80% of the carbon produced by a building in its life cycle. But there's also another side called embodied carbon, which is from the building materials itself. That means there's a difference between, say, your tile coming from a local company or it being imported from China, because the carbon footprint of the transportation is markedly different and the processes that making that product is different. So all this is related to carbon accounting, which is what we report to in as part of our reporting to the international organizations such as the UN. That's where you get the numbers for this climate change. Yeah. Anyway, onwards to the next question. On OTTV, what is the variation in heat gain between single low emittance glass and double low E glazing? Is it financially viable to adopt double low E glass in relevance to OTTV?
So this is regarding glass, right? So actually, for your information, that I'm from metal, Aja Metal. So I'm not really expert. I know a little bit about glass, but I'm not really expert in Aja glass. So perhaps you can contact the Aja glass to have like further discussion on the OTTV for the double low E glazing. So you can just search in the Google for Aja glass, safety glass. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, cannot answer you.
No worries. We know that you're from metal, and IGEA is a big company. They have all types of sustainability experts, and I think we, as rightly pointed out, you can contact the glass segment of IGEA for the answer. Yeah. Okay, I'm just scanning through the questions. I think I have asked most of the questions unless there are new ones that coming up. There are markedly a lot of people asking for slides. So I'm not sure whether the organizers will be providing the slides. I'm sure they will, right, Sarah?
Yeah. I think they will blast out all the slide to the email of the participants.
Right. So don't worry because in the question panel, everybody is giving their email to you. So there's many many emails being sent asking to, hey, can you later receive the slide from you? So don't worry, the organizers will send you the slides via email. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe while waiting for the other questions, maybe we can talk about the industrial building side of IGEA's activities. How does that contribute to efficiency or sustainability?
So recently, not recently, like 5 years past, AJA already launched the AGIPS. We call it as AJA Green Building Industrial Building System, IBS. So AJA Green IBS.
I see.
So we are using the most sustainable metal to use as part of our structure. So it will also contribute you to the sustainable, which I won't say like sustainable is very like general or very worldwide word. So sustainable also can develop to the we use this kind of a particular part for the long lifespan. So AJA using the long lifespan for the structurals of the AGIPS. So it also can contribute to the sustainable strategy also. So
what's the lifespan that is predicted by IGEA in terms of the life cycle analysis?
So we are using more than 15 years for the structure.
I see. Okay.
So it's quite a lot. So if let's say you are using the timber, right? So you need to cut like tree, and you also need to like after a certain years you need to renew back, or you need to install back the structure using the timber, everything. So it's not really sustainable.
Right. One question came up. Will PU roof will be reliable for residential, and what will be the aesthetic concern?
Yes, reliable to the residential, and the aesthetic concerns is more to the pitch of the roof. So every roof have like their limits of the degree or pitch of the roof. So there will be your concern in the aesthetic. So if let's say it higher than 3 degrees, so it doesn't have any problem. All design or any design you can do the PU roofing. Yeah.
But this is talking about PU integrated with metal deck, right?
Yeah.
But PU is also available to be applied to, say, for example, tiles, roof tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I guess the aesthetic concern is very little because you can put insulation, polyurethane insulation in every type of roof. Yeah. But if you want the metal deck one, there is a certain metal deck look that you have to, I guess, live with. Or some people like that. It's more modern, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, metal deck is not really like how can I say very industrial look So because we have like variety of finishing, variety of colors, so you can have like right now trend is dark color. So dark color, even though you are using the metal deck, it doesn't contribute you to the industrial look roofing. So it will be look nicer. Mm.
But in terms of sustainability, we suggest lighter colors so that there's less heat absorption.
Yeah, true, true.
And I think a lot of people do ask about the noise from PU metal deck. You know, what do you how do you respond with that? The noise generated, because residential users want a more quiet place rather than a factory or whatever. So will the noise affect you?
Actually, PU come with a variety of thickness also. So if let's say you are choosing the thicker PU, for example, like 50 mm, so it will also contribute to the like sound performance. The sound penetrate into your building is lower compared that you are using the like thin PU thickness. So same like others insulation also. So you need to play around with the insulation's thickness to contribute you to the sound performance, which is STC, sound transmission clause. So that one, if let's say Aja also can do the calculation for you for pure roofing with your design, with your roofing design. So we can calculate the STC, the U value, also the thermal performance. So it will give you the best service lah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think we have just a little bit more time, and I guess I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Sarah, for attempting to share with us this complex issue of climate change and business. It is actually a mutual responsibility of everyone, and business plays a very important role, and businesses can pivot and leverage their activities towards achieving sustainability, as you have shown just now. And I as if those who are interested can look up the websites of organizations that has been mentioned by Sarah, like the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which actually started the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, and that's not just far away; it's like 9 years from now. And the United Nations Framework for Convention on Climate Change, which met in 1992, which had 195 signatories, which was the progenitor for things like the Kyoto Protocol in 1997 and the Paris Accords in 2015. So all this, the whole world is very concerned, and we should be concerned because we are in the middle of it. We are in the middle of Asia, which is a very fast developing area. Sometimes we go somewhere, there was not a town, and suddenly next year there is a new township there. So we are living in a place of growth, and I think climate change is something which is very relevant to all of us. And thank you again, Sarah, for sharing. Thank you again, IGEM, for bringing this forward, and Malaysia GBC for putting forward this topic. Hopefully, everyone will have the benefit from this talk. And don't worry, those who are waiting for the slides, right, Sarah? The organizers will be sending them Sarah's slides, so not to worry. And with that, it's 9:59. Our session is up to 10. I would like to bid everybody a thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, all our attenders. Yeah.